Hi, this is Adriana DiNenno, the author of Unprepared. So this morning, I read on my LinkedIn page a fellow Ithaca College alumni that stated that she's applied for 217 jobs, and I think she had something like 196 interviews or something like that. And frustrated, she's just decided to start her own company. Right now, the climate of the job market, I feel bad for a lot of new college grads because it's going to be hard to find a job. And the book that I've recently written, and actually was very hard for me to find a job, which is why I published this book. It's called Unprepared. Getting a job should not be this hard. And it's about Paige, a new college graduate that is, swamped in student debt. She has tons that she needs to pay off. She has a junky car. She's living with her boyfriend. She has no money, and she's doing these odd end jobs, waiting tables and things like that, trying to find her dream job and just trying to find joy in the day to day life, um, without the stresses of job hunting getting to her. And some of the interviews that she endures are quite comical. Um, and I wanted to share a reading from the book with you, just to give you a glimpse into it. So I'm going to read you page 89, which is in a chapter, and the chapter is called Politics as Usual, Please Help Me. So this is where Paige actually applies for a job with a political communications company. So, as I expected, the office is tiny. There is one huge room with three or four smaller offices squeezed into it. Since the office has no air conditioning, every one of the windows and doors is open. I walk into the main office to introduce myself. I alert the receptionist that I am here for a political communications position. She barely looks up from me from her mountain of paperwork before waving her hand to indicate that I should find my way to the door on the left. I follow her instructions and gently knock on the door. Upon doing so, I see a man with wavy brown hair turn around and glance at me. He has on a brown plaid button down shirt reminiscent of the 1970s. He has an arrogant look to him. I put it out of my mind, smile, and enthusiastically introduce myself. Hi, I'm Paige. We spoke on the phone about the political communications position. Ah, yes, Paige. Hi, Paige. Please come in. He invites me to sit down. I make myself comfortable in the chair directly facing his desk. I set my briefcase down to the left of my legs, where there's some open space. The next 15 minutes involve him mainly talking about himself. I can't help but think about how narcissistic he is. Nonetheless, I try to keep this out of my mind. I need money right now. Soon he begins drilling me with questions. His first one is your typical cookie cutter question. What is your greatest weakness? I once read somewhere that this question is designed to throw you off your game. Not mine. I take a moment pretending to think about the answer, although know I've already memorized the question from other interviews. Imagine if I answered with, I don't have any weaknesses. For sure, he would kick me out in a second. Instead, I respond with a safe answer, something that I know will help the fact that I'm entry level. Some people would consider the fact that I have never worked in this field as a weakness. However, being highly trainable and open minded, I have no preconceived notions on how to perform the job. Working here will give me the opportunity to learn the job the way you want it done, not the way I believe it's done. Although I have no former on the job experience, I do bring with me extensive hands on training and expertise, which can only enhance my ability to learn extremely quickly. I take a deep breath. He seems pleased with the response and continues to the next question. What are your salary requirements? With this question, instantly my dreams of a new car, my engagement, and a place to live disappear into a puff of panic smoke. I shuffle through everything in my brain trying to figure out how to answer. I've heard that you should avoid answering this question as much as possible and let the employer make you an offer. Easier said than done. I make the best effort to throw the ball back in his court. I would like to understand the job responsibilities and requirements and how well I meet those needs before discussing the salary topic. I come back further with, do you mind asking me what type of range you typically pay someone with my background? Unhappy that I boomerang the question back at him, he dodges the question and moves to the next. Thank God. What do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? My heart begins to race. I hate this question because it's so broad and vague. My mind goes blank. I remember reading somewhere once about how to respond to this, but now I can't recall what it said. I take a guess and decide to go with a generic answer since I have no idea where I'll be in 5 years. I don't say this, but I'm only hopeful that I'm alive and healthy. I would like to see myself doing something where I'm writing all of the time for my job, similar to how this position requires writing skills for press releases. He smiles, seeming more happy with my response this time. We move on. The next part of the interview is less question based, with more information of what the skills of the position are. When we are discussing my writing skills, I'm stunned by his comment. I have to be honest, I really don't like your personality, but you are an excellent writer. He pierces me to the core. I've gone over your resume with a fine tooth comb and I can't find one error. This tells me something. So, against my better judgment, I'm going to offer you the position. I can't believe it. Did this guy just say he didn't like me, but here's the job? At this point, I'm at a total loss on what to say or do. Do I thank him and walk out? Do I accept the job since I need one? Feeling unsure, I tell him I will think about it and let him know. Figuring that I have nothing to lose, I bring up the salary discussion again, asking him what the position will pay. The salary is $20,000 a year. I'm astounded yet relieved that he has told me. I would never accept that type of salary to work for an a-hole who does not like me but thinks I'm overqualified for the job. Instead of blowing up at him like I want to, I thank him for his time and let him know that I will get back to him, even though I know I never will. So I know that was a little long, but in that chapter, Paige is confronted with an offer where someone didn't like her, and does she need the money enough to take it? No, she didn't take it. She wasn't making much less at the craft store, quite frankly, or when she was waiting tables. So, anyways, stay tuned for more videos and more readings.